Oh, she ready? And then now let me come back to my screen. Can you see my screen? Oh, did I? Oh my gosh. Can y'all see my screen?
I see you.
Not yet.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, here we go. She gonna get it together, y'all. Yes. Here we go. You got it? Do y'all see it now?
Yes, we do.
All righty. And I have some more in the waiting room. Miss Karen, when you see.
I got
in the
them.
okay. All right. Now what we're gonna do, Dr. Guyton, do you want to cover the 7 spiritual laws of Black Wall Street? Let me see if I can pull it up for you to make it easier.
Yeah, please pull it up for me.
I am gonna pull it up, see if I can pull it up on here. And for those who have not had an opportunity to visit the website, definitely go by and check out what the mission of Black Wall Street is and the different spiritual framework for this leadership. Here we go, Dr. Guyton, go ahead. Can you see
Okay,
it?
let's just do this. Let's not go into detail on each spiritual law because that's not what this meeting is about. But we want to at least acknowledge the 7 different spirits that are on there. Can you go down to show number 1?
There's number 1 right there.
Oh my goodness.
The right spirit foundation of kingdom work.
Yeah, I see that. I'm having to get a magnifying glass to read it though.
Okay. Well then, Dr. Guyton, so in this to respect everyone's time, I'll just go through it real quick.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. And I appreciate you being able to jump on and just step up and serve. First is the right spirit, meaning the foundation of kingdom work, identifying the target region guided by the spirit, Black Wall Street leadership, spiritual requirements. And when you all have a moment, I want you to go back and read it and be very familiar with what these spiritual rights are. The kingdom building, a holistic approach to kingdom building. And actually, those were not the 7 right there. This is the right of kingdom building, a spiritual framework of Black Wall Street. Those were not the actual 7 spiritual laws. Let me see where I can find. Well, we'll get back to that because for the purpose of this meeting, we're going to go with the agenda. And let's start with the introduction so that we know who's in this space with us. And with this introduction, please just limit it to 1 minute and just provide your name, your company name, your product or service if you have a service business. And I'll start. I'm Dr. Janice Little. I have several business entities, Players Properties, Graduates Gift, Good Divas Investment, Kids Money Mart, and Community Connectors. My product is we're in the real estate space and the consulting space, education. And I am Dr. Janice Little. Next person, please unmute yourself. Introduce yourself using this framework real quickly, please.
Great. This is Dr. F.D. Guyton, known as Dr. G, Houston, Texas. And our focus is every day a dad. FD 365 because a dad is a dad every day. And we want to make sure that we build the foundation of the family correctly so we can win and do that. So we want to address the needs that dads have, not just one day a year, but every day a year. And so we have the Maximize Dad Institute. And what we're doing, we've created a resolution as well as a proclamation for dads to be dads 365 days a year. But because there's dads across the planet, we are expanding to 365 global. And so it's a global movement, and that's the thing that we're moving for. Thank you for
Okay.
your time.
Thank you, Dr. G. Next.
Good morning. My name is V. Decatur. I own a property retention business here in Houston. And what we do, what I mean by that is, in a nutshell, let's say we have some business owners who don't want to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for a commercial space for their businesses or for their projects. We teach people how to save properties to keep them from going to auction, or if they do go to foreclosure auction, we have a section where we're very successful at helping owners redeem these properties that they've lost at auction and sell them to people of our choice, to handpick Black people who may need those properties for their projects, where they can pretty much buy those properties for back taxes. They can still buy those properties for back taxes because they're in the redemption period. So we do this by having podcasts. I have an online course that teaches it. My podcast is free, and it's very open about the things to do, about the steps to take and things to do. So that's just it in a nutshell. Anybody else want any additional information on how they can purchase properties, residential properties, that have been on the foreclosure list, can just contact me. We do this for all 50 states.
Thank you, Ms. V. Next.
I'm Marilyn Lennon. I have a nonprofit organization here in Houston, Texas. I'm in the process of compiling information, researching information, getting ready for the TA, Texas Education Agency, to release the charter application for the upcoming year. The nonprofit organization, Path of Life Incorporated, will be starting a school. The name of the school is Path of Life Career Academy. It will be for at-risk students, young people. We're actually high school students 9 through 12. And hopefully we will catch them before they end up in the judicial system, in trouble, maybe on the verge, because we want at-risk students. So on the verge, and we're gonna intervene in their lives and help put them on a path to success so that they can come out with a career making the kind of money that they never expected to make, and also be able to help themselves, their families, and their communities.
Thank you.
My name
Next.
is Karen Reese. I'm Vice Chair of Black Wall Street, Texas. I have multiple businesses, like Dr. Little. I have a tax business, been doing taxes over 20 years. But my love is filming. I love bringing people's stories to life. And so I have a documentary called Greenwood Avenue Project. I also have a Sports Mom talk show. That's enough of them, but and I also sell tax software. I don't know what my product is. I got a lot of products. Okay, that's it.
Thank you for sharing. Next.
Good morning. My name is Kimberly Proctor, and I live in Louisiana, and I'm representing my husband on behalf of his organization. And it's actually a for-profit, and it's called Bean LLC. And it's a faith-based, well, actually, it's not solely a faith-based organization, but he promotes health and wellness in the community, specifically through faith-based organizations. And the goal is to empower individuals to live healthier lives by integrating faith, nutrition, and fitness. And we promote fitness challenges amongst churches, and we have we provide a pre-assessment and a post-assessment, and based upon the metrics, we determine a winner. And so they win money, prizes, and but most of all, we promote, if you start and finish, you're a winner already. So everyone's a winner if you can, start and then finish. Finishing is the issue here in the African American community. But right currently we have 5 churches, and we also promote through Grambling State University the kinesiology and leisure studies program as well. And so right now we have some grant funding that supports the programs, and so that's how we are able to continue to offer the service. And the product for Bean LLC is, it's a health promotion, and he not only does it through churches, he does it through community organizations like the Boys and Girls Club. He partnered with the local hospital here, where he promoted the challenge as well. So we're excited about that, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger. And so we're just happy to be represented here today.
Thank you for
Excuse me, what's
sharing.
your husband's first name?
Larry.
Okay, okay, I remember some beans I went to Grambling with.
Okay,
Oh,
next,
okay.
we'll get back to the social part later. Go ahead, next person. Who wants to share? This is just the introduction where you have an opportunity to share your name, your product, and services, your company name as well. If not, then we're gonna move on with.
Good morning to all.
Okay,
My name is Brian Edwards, Deputy Chief of Staff for Black Wall Street Global. One of the businesses that I'm working with right now is Strategy Solution. We deal with business registration, setting up your foundation, your fundability, your credibility, and let's get started.
okay, thanks and welcome to the call. Anyone else want
Thank
to
you.
share their name, their company name, and your product and services? Okay, well, we're gonna move on to the old business. The last time we met, we've been working on getting the UEI number. The UEI is the Unique Entity Identification, and this number is needed for when you are applying for federal funds, state funds, any type of grants. You're gonna need your actual UEI number. Is there anyone in this space right now who need to get assistance with their UEI number? If so, here is the opportunity for us to work with you directly. We will go with you step by step to apply for the UEI number while we are on this Zoom within this hour's period. So if there's anyone who need it, please feel free to step up and say, you can assist me.
Okay, this is Kimberly. And again, I am representing my husband, but he's actually not available right now. And so what does this entail when you say?
Well, what it entails is I will share my screen with you. You would just log into sam.gov and start applying for the UEI number. So it's like you were registered. If you haven't registered for sam.gov, you were registered then, and then just put your husband or company's name in there to request the UEI number.
Okay, so currently we are registered with SAM. I do need to check that because it's been a while since we've applied through .gov.
Okay.
So I'll have to research that first before I to see if we're still active.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Anyone else? And because we're here to serve, and this is the time and space where it's okay if you don't have, if you're not good with technology, it's okay in this space because we all are here to learn. And I'll be the first to say I am not the most tech savvy, And so it's okay to mess up, but the thing is, when we mess up, we're not gonna quit. We're gonna continue to get it. So we will stay with you until we figure it out. And if we can't figure it out within this hour time, I am committed to walking with you during the steps when the meeting is over so that you continue to go through and get what it is that you're needing.
I would like to say, Dr. Little, thank you so much for walking me through a couple of Saturdays ago. I have my EUI number, and I think I mentioned to you all last Saturday that there was a problem with my cage code. I found out that it's not a number, it's a code. Since then, they have sent me, well, we clarified why they had kind of counseled me at some point because I didn't reply back in 3 days. Well, apparently I resolved that. They sent me the information. They had a series of questions concerning the cage that I had to answer. And that was a process. So I answered all those questions. They sent me back notification about the cage and saying that it seemingly was complete and that they were submitting everything to whatever system it need to be submitted to. And I haven't heard anything. So I'm thinking that shortly I'll receive the cage code. And so that part of it will be complete. So thank you so much for walking me through it.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And I'll share my experience about it after we finish. Anyone else?
Yeah, that's gonna say, Dr. Little, that everybody kind of share if they're running into any kind of experience, that way when other people are applying, we'll already know about those steps and be able to help them with those steps. If anybody had any kind of problems, like Marilyn had learning about the cage code, and then your situation, that we're gaining the knowledge about how it works, and that way we are able to help anyone else.
And I will share my personal experience with getting a UEI number. The fact that I have multiple businesses and I do not have a physical location, office space, except I use a virtual space, which has a co-working space. That presents a problem when you have multiple businesses. So for one of my business, I was able to get the number right away. But then all the other businesses, I've received a denial of getting a UEI number, saying that I needed to provide additional information to get it, which entailed a lease or bank statement or documents from Secretary of State with the actual business name and address at that particular location, which the problem with that is when I started my companies, I was at another location. I used the home-based office to get my DUNS number. And I, at the time, used a virtual office to get the address for the company that actually has the UEI number. So what I'm finding is I'm going back and forth with them to verify that I do go to the virtual office. I go there about 4 times a week to get mail. And the mail is for all the different business, bank statement, credit card bills, invitation to events and things like that. But it has the business name on it. So what I'm doing is going through the process and sending them the documentation and requesting the UEI number for all of the companies, because the way I conduct business, I actually go to the location to do my workshop, professional development, and things like that, as opposed to them coming to where the virtual office is. But they do allow me to meet there. So I'm going through the process so that I can advocate for them. That's a policy that they have in place that needs to be revisited, simply because there are business models where you do not conduct business at your physical location. For example, Constructions companies, those are businesses where people are not just going to the construction company to do the business. They normally are going on location to handle their business. So while we're in this space right here, right now, we will brainstorm some ways how we are going to approach the government with letting them know our concern and some of the red tape that we're running into with applying for grant funds. I was able to successfully submit my first proposal, but they said I would have to have the UEI number if awarded. So I'm going through the process to get that taken care of. So I'm going to open it up so that we can have a discussion and create a plan here together. What is going to be our strategy? Now, we know we have Mr. Daly on Mondays. And so we can bring it to his attention on Monday and see where we can go with moving forward, because I definitely need to try to get that number if I'm awarded that particular RFP. So feel free to unmute so I'm not just doing all the talking, so that we can come up with a strategy.
Okay, Brian Edwards here, talking again. I just want to throw some insight out there. A lot of you guys are
Yes.
looking for the codes. Let's say you have a healthcare business. You want to go and look up your SIC code, and then it's automatically available. Once you put in healthcare, or you have a construction business, it's going to populate the code for you. Then when you go to SAMS.gov, you already have your code. You submit it when you're doing your application one time. You can do the free trial, or you can pay the $249 to have your DUNS number in 8 days. So that's the most easiest way to do it. Or you can go to the NAISC to get your code.
Thank you for sharing that.
I have a question though. Is that the same code as the CAGE code? Because that is the one that CAGE means commercial and government entity. And that is the one that is assigned after you receive your UEI, to my understanding.
And
You can have that code before you get your UEI number. Normally how I do it, so it'd be available within 30 days, I come with my code. So I just go to SIC, I find my category. Okay, I'm into air conditioning and refrigeration. It will populate a 4-digit code. When you go to SAMS, it will tell you what is your SIC code. You put that in, and then you get your number within like 30 days. It normally comes within 2 weeks once you do everything correctly.
So it sounds like the code is it's the number that is assigned most related to your business type.
Your business, like how you say you go to the office and stuff like that. You don't need to tell them all of that. You're in healthcare, you get your healthcare code, 8892. You put in 8892 on the SAMS.gov code, and then it populates your UEI code, which is the DUNS number.
Hello?
So the site to find the codes,
Okay.
you can pull it up.
Excuse me, but the DUNS number is what's being replaced with the UEI number.
Yes,
So-
that's why you want to also have your SIC code before you get the DUNS number. So they don't have to come back and ask you, what is your SIC code, or what is your NAICS code?
Okay, so these are all unique codes that
Yes,
are
for different
related
business
to your
structures.
business.
Correct.
So knowing those codes, I don't know if you're able to bring those sites up, Dr. Little, just so they can see them.
I would try, I'll try anything once. Let's see. And these are the SIC codes.
Yes, SIC code.
Look up, okay.
Are you able to share the screen too?
Oh, I'm not sharing. Okay, let me see. Share. You see it?
So say for instance, put tax preparation, see what happens.
That will pop up with a code.
So this would be pharmaceutical preparation, perfumes.
It probably comes up, there, keep going down, you just had passed it,
Right
tax
here?
preparation. Yep,
This, I'll click
So-
on it.
so
7291.
7291.
Uh-huh, 7291.
Okay, and see how many total companies that have that code?
And don't
Okay.
forget, some of these codes are high risk. So you want to be careful which one you're using so your company is not labeled as high risk. Let's say you have a home health care company. You know, those type of codes would be high risk. So you just pick a unique code that's not high risk. It's better for fundability.
Okay.
And how would you know if it's high risk? Are you gonna be able to
We do.
see it on?
Yes, you can see it. You can pull up high risk codes also as well. You can go to the top and just put in high risk SIC code and SIC codes.
Let me see, high risk. Let me see. What did it say? Railroads, hall, eating places,
Hospitals, insurance companies.
railroads, switching and terminal establishment. Okay,
Go back to the top search bar and just put high risk codes.
okay,
You see like that 7372
yes.
pre-packaging software companies, they high risk. Computer processing,
Eating
they be-
places.
they be considered high risk. You can get lawsuits, salmonella poisoning, stuff like that. So as you go throughout your companies and looking for the proper code, it's going to tell you this, because you have multiple codes that match your company. Some are high risk and some are codes. Let's say you have something like consultant, strategy
Yes.
solution. Those companies are low risk. Banks tailor to give you more money because you coming up with a solution, or you consulting, you dealing with a problem.
Okay. Now, the problem I ran into with getting my UEI number was the business office location. So that's the issue that we're going to be dealing with more so than just the code. It's the physical location of the office and the model that I'm using.
You want to do a virtual business and not a virtual box. So
It's not a virtual box. It's a co-working space.
Yeah, some of them are good, but you want to make sure it's like a big building. Let's say
It
Regis.
is. Look at me. I'm like, it is a big building where I can have meetings if I need to. So
You have a suite number?
well, they give you a mailbox, it's the suite number, but the whole building is there and you have access to it. The co-working space.
Never put your mailbox number. You just want to use the suite number.
Well,
because
that's
your
what I
mail-
put. I just put the numbers, the number. When I do my mailing, it's just the address with the number next to it.
Yes, that's the way to do it.
And so, and what it's finding is when I'm putting it in the system, I have more than one company there. So
More than one company, same email.
no, not the same email. No,
Because everything needs to
not
be
the
separate.
same.
Email,
Everything
email
is
needs to be
separate. Bank
separate.
accounts, everything
Phone number.
is separate. Yes,
Okay.
but it's coming back because of the location, because it has been identified as a co-working space.
That's good to know that because I have several businesses and I need to make sure that I have separate phone numbers for each one of them. And I'm in a building where I have a suite, and so I was gonna try to put like suite 320A, suite 320B to be able to separate my businesses, but it still come to that one address, but I'm separating it with A, B, C, D, E. So I'm gonna try that for my multiple businesses.
Yes. Any other recommendations? Well, I will bring it up on the call with Mr. Daly on Monday to see what he recommends. Since this is a barrier, it would be a big barrier, especially if I'm awarded and don't have the number. Even though I do have the DUNS number, they're looking for the UEI number.
I think your approach is, as far as us writing something, is in light of COVID. And so in light of COVID, there even company, writing something about even companies have shut down and a lot of people are working from home. And so just kind of using that as a base as far as writing, and you running your business, kind of in those virtual spaces and kind of writing it out, like that.
Okay. Thanks for sharing. I would definitely put it in there.
And of course, AI can help you.
Okay, it will. Any other suggestions?
Good morning. I'm kind of late coming to the meeting. If it's any kind of way I can get just a little bit more information, so maybe I can give some input.
Sure. What we're discussing the UEI number and the problems that we've been having with obtaining the UEI number. The UEI number is the unique entity identification number, which is required for federal funds, state fund, county funds. It's the number that replaced the DUNS number. And the problem that I personally have run into is I have multiple business entities and I operate out of a virtual co-working space. All of my businesses' mail goes to this space, and this is where I can actually meet with my clients there whenever I have an appointment. I can meet them in the co-working space. I do not have a lease agreement with them because it's not required, because I'm not leasing a space. I'm doing the co-op space over there because my business is normally done at location of the schools, and my real estate is in the community. Community development is in the community, not in the physical space over there. So the problem is I was only able to get one UEI number, and the other ones are not, they haven't been sent yet. I'm determined that we're gonna get it, but it's just going through the process of explaining my business model, sending them the bank statements, because the bank statements do go there, and that's one of the documentations that you can use are the bank statements. And so what we were talking about is strategizing on how we can address that with Mr. Daly on Monday, because he's here to assist us to remove the red tape. And this is seen as a barrier for trying to do business with the government. So that's what we're talking about.
And what was, could I get one of the suggestions that was made?
To mention that in light of COVID, we have reverted back to working from home and using co-working space virtually as part of the letter that I'm writing. And bringing it up bringing it up on the call when it's time to ask questions. Bring it up to Mr. Daly on Monday. If we have the call on Monday, because Monday is a holiday.
Well, let me ask you this. Are you saying that they are suggesting that there is, wait a minute, yeah, okay. I
There-
thought I might have been on mute. Are you suggesting that there may be a problem with working from home and using your home as your office?
No, the problem is using the co-working space.
Oh, the co-working space, okay.
Yes, that's what they sent back to me, was that they had like a policy against the co-working space.
I
And
see.
that particular space has been identified as a co-working space.
I see.
And that's a physical and not a virtual space.
It is a physical co-working space that I get mail. I get all my mail there. And I host meeting there sometimes as well.
But you're using it virtually, basically.
Am I using? Yes.
Yes.
You can say I'm using it virtually.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I don't have a lease agreement, no. But I have a contract with them for the services.
And that's hindering, that's a roadblock, because you're not able to fully
Well, it was no problem for one of the businesses, but for the other ones that I'm trying to get the UEI on, that's where the problem came in, because I have multiple businesses. And I successfully submitted a request for a proposal to the school district. And when they completed their presentation, they said, if it is awarded, these are the things you must have that are non-negotiable. And that UEI number was like a must have. Because it replaces the DUNS number.
And they're not going to release more because you don't have those other businesses with a location, basically.
Right. I don't have a physical address for those businesses.
Right.
Well, that's what I was asking. You cannot use your home address for all of your businesses as a home office. That's where your base is, at your home, and you cannot do that.
Well, we can ask the question. I didn't ask if I could use my home office for all of them. I will ask that question too when I respond to them again. I've responded to them twice, uploading the documentation, but they keep sending it back saying they need a lease agreement.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like that's the conflict to me. Seems not just me, not having experience, but just going through all those questions that I had to go through in order to get the cage code, which I'm still not sure that I'm going to get. I believe that I am, but just based on all those questions, they ask, is this business operated? What type of facility, or where do you operate this business? And I put in their home office because I do most of my, and they said, is a majority of your business done from your home office? And I said, yes. And to me, if I had 2 or 3 businesses and I operated them from my home, I don't see what the conflict would be in doing that. So that's why I ask you, why don't we find out whether it would be simpler just to operate your businesses from your home, if that's where you're operating, because to me, they're trying to make sure that you're a legitimate business. From all the questions they asked me, even my
Mhm.
telephone number, they want to make sure that if they call my number that I gave them, that that is a real number associated with my business.
Yes.
And which it is, but I could just tell from the questions that they were asking me that they want to, they're trying to verify that as much as possible, that you're not just giving them a bogus address or a bogus telephone number, and it's not
Mhm.
really associated with a real business.
Okay.
That's what it seems like to me, from all the questions they asked me on them, because they sent me a series of questions that I had to answer one by one concerning the cage. And I answered them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I believe, from what I can ascertain,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm inferring, that's why they ask the many questions that they ask.
Well, I understand they have their concerns and questions about the business, but I think when I'm sending that it's a legitimate business with bank statement, these statements are real bank statements for all the companies, then I
That
shouldn't
should
have
be
to have a lease
verification enough.
agreement. Right. I shouldn't have to have a lease agreement. And then I explained the business model is consulting services and professional development. So, and the trainings are done on location of vendors.
Just to say something else, it's because you have multiple business at one location. That's why they're asking for a lease agreement. And normally you need to have toll-free numbers, professional
Okay.
business email, not Gmails. So
Right.
everything has to add up. I never open up multiple businesses at one location. I always change them. So I don't have that problem.
Okay.
If I open up at one Regis office, I would use a different Regis office that's not too far from me so I can have access to those mail. Because when you open up more than one business at one location, your name is going to pop up multiple times. So you have to have a lease agreement.
Okay.
Unless you're not going to get UEI numbers on all the businesses. So just pay that in mind too.
Okay.
And B, you were saying as far as not Gmails, because all my
Gmail
business
is an
got
automatic. Gmail is an automatic denial. So let's say you have a healthcare business, LLC. You want to make sure it's admin@healthcare.com and not Gmail. You want to make sure you have a toll-free number and not a regular local number.
Okay.
And that's true, because that was one of the questions they asked me too. When I looked through the information, it said it could not be a Gmail. It could not be 2 or 3 other types of telephone number. Email addresses also, including
Yes.
the Gmail was one.
So for
Okay.
every business, I would set up a different toll-free number.
Okay. Well, I don't have toll-free numbers. I have other local
I
numbers.
have Google numbers.
Yeah.
Google numbers is not good also. It has to be like
Okay.
800, 888, 855.
Or it
So they
could
look
be
at-
mine is an org. They didn't have any problems with my school because this is .org. It
Okay.
Org
probably
is
could
good.
be .edu. It probably could be
Yes, correct.
That's
.gov or
okay.
whatever, but not a personal, because personal emails, Gmails are associated with personal emails.
Correct.
Well, if you can use Google now, they'll actually give you a free domain. You got to sign up with Google as a business, and they will actually help you build a website and give you a domain, a .com or .org through them, and
Yeah.
they'll help you attach to teach you how to build a website, whether it's a landing page, so that way you can have it as an ownership website, not just a Gmail, because that's what they're looking for. If you say you own a business, then you need to own everything, the number,
Yes, correct.
the email, the website, everything needs to have that connection of ownership, and not
Yep.
personal ownership, but business ownership. And
Correct.
what I've learned was, just like when you're getting an EIN, you do have to use other addresses. Now you can, but that's when you're using an umbrella. If you're having the umbrella over where it's one main company that's attaching, that's the other multiple companies to it, which is like a holding company. And that's when you mainly like using a business trust. And that's another aspect of how where you're using the control factor, and they honor that system when you can actually show the pattern that you are having things in proper place with a holding company that actually can have multiple LLCs in that structure, and they'll run it that way. And what I've just looked up, virtual addresses do come with lease agreements. So there are
Yes.
several virtual address companies out here, but I found out that the post office also will let you sign up with a business for the for the PO box, but they will allow you to use the physical address and not the PO box. They've made some changes today to where, well, in these new days since COVID, to where they're allowing that dual process. You can have it as a business and use the actual physical address, or and not use the PO box, because they're frowning on PO boxes or anything that doesn't show that,
Physical.
yeah, that actual physical, tangible, essence of it. So that's where we're learning the essence of how, internet and all this virtual stuff is going through the proper ordinance, so that way we can use it for business. So I actually have an LLC, I have a holding company, a trust company, and you got to know how to utilize it to get the proper actions. But with this, I'm doing a little more studying on that number, that UIE number, to actually get more information for myself, to see what more I can put into it. But when it's simulating like a DUNS number, that's what they're looking for, is that orderliness. And there's a company called OOMA. They actually have they'll give you an 800 number, and they'll allow you to have multiple numbers as like you're running a company. So that way you look like a company. So those are the main things. Your website has to have a dot something, .org, .net, .com.
.us.
.com is always the highest to have. So, $8 or whatever, you can actually obtain it real easy. But they want that as well as the 800 number, or it has to have if it's not an 800 number, the number has to have the caller ID, say your business. So that way it's real identifiable. They don't have no questions about it. Thank you for letting me share.
Is this it here? The OOMA number right here? Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. Omni, OMA is
OMA?
yes, ma'am. That's the company I've been using. And they allow you to actually, you
How
can
many numbers?
actually, excuse me.
You said, they allow you how many numbers?
They'll give you a 800 number, a reception number, and they'll give you your main number that it's like a call center. You're actually creating your own call center. So you can only have you as the call center, or you can have other people to be a part of that. Plus, they allow you to have something similar like Zoom, where you can actually have your video conference. You can actually have an audio conference where you can have these calls like you're doing here on that OMA. So it's a one and all stop shop virtual type of system that you can do online.
Okay, so
That's a lot of great
you can,
information. Thank you so much.
yes, you can transfer your number. I wonder if you can transfer your Google number. If you have like a Google number, you want to keep your same number.
Yes, call them, talk
Let
to
me
them.
check and see if it can be ported.
Yeah,
I think they're doing Google transfers now too. I seen an ad the other day about that.
About what?
Google transferring numbers. You can transfer your
Oh.
Google number into a different phone service provider.
Okay. Oh. No. I want to check here. looks like you can port your phone number. If you're already a customer, you can start the porting process. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. I would definitely follow up and look into getting a 1-800 or a toll-free number because I do not have one. So thank you so much for sharing that valuable information. Are there any announcements that anyone want to share with the group? Any events coming up, anything like that? If so, feel free to share your announcements.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
What happened to the Holistic Council, the Wellness Council that was part of the Black Wall Street?
I cannot answer that question, sir. Because I'm Dr. G.
Yeah, hey, Theo.
Yeah.
How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing well, brother. How you doing?
Great, great. And it's good hearing your voice, of course.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, so some things are being reorganized and rearranged. So what I'll do, let me get that information for you and I will get it to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I will let Dr. Carter's going to be excited to know that you were on the call today.
Yes. Thank you. Please tell him
Yeah.
I said hi, and I love him much. Love him much.
Amen. Now let me ask you a question. Did you reactivate your membership?
That's what I'm about to do. I just wanted to get in
Yeah.
on the call, maybe, just to refresh. And but yes, definitely that.
Yeah, let me know when you do that because there's opportunity as well.
I can see it coming.
There's great opportunity, and for what you do, this would fit right into it, and you could catch up on some things, right?
Yes.
And
Did he
then
tell
some
us
other
what he
things.
does? What does he do?
I'm the gentleman that actually came in and actually helped create the Holistic and Wellness Council.
Oh,
I'm the first national director of it.
Yeah, Theo.
Nice. Yes.
Tell them your nuts and bolts, what you do, how you get people well. That's what they're interested in.
right.
Oh, well, holistic is the best way alternative using holistic modalities, herbalism. I use alkalinity. I use the different aspects of what is available for us that God actually put on this planet to help us and that help our civilization survive throughout millions of years. That has never left the planet, has never left us. So I've been able to dig deep into old remedies and old things that worked and bring it up into the new age and circumvent it into a position where it's acceptable today. So we can actually take it. I've actually helped so many that was negative in COVID that in 3 days they were not a COVID person. They didn't have it at all. So it's, bringing into this whole wellness to bring our communities, our homes, our individuals back into society so they can actually perform at their best. Because from health is mental, physical, and spiritual. And that's what I've been able to study, to learn from Tai Chi, learning meditation, learning just different things that will help us in this journey so we can get back on the boat of living what God said he created us to do. And that's my ministry.
Where are you located?
I'm in Texas, Dallas, Texas.
Oh, Dallas.
The
Okay.
Dallas area? Okay.
In other words, what he's saying is this: if you're dealing with something and you need some information on dealing with that, let him know, and he could possibly send you one of his remedies that's documented and that he could help you get some result. What Theo and I did a few years ago was proclaim that Texas would be the healthiest state in the union.
That's right.
And we began to work toward that. And so that initiative still stands. So he's a gentleman that we had partnered together. Theo actually came to Houston and we did a couple of events. So he travels, he's available to come in and speak, he's available to come in and present, demonstrate. He's an incredible young man in,
Mhm.
in the Dallas area. So I brag on him.
Okay.
We can't
Well-
wait. We can't wait for you to come back up here to Dallas, brother.
Hey Theo, take my phone number.
Give me 1 second.
And while they're exchanging phone numbers, let me ask this question. I think I read somewhere on one of the websites, not websites, but emails, that the deadline for submitting grants would be like October the 1st.
That was the deadline for the fiscal year. It's gonna be ongoing, my understanding, grant process is ongoing, but that was the deadline I think that they had set for the fiscal year.
But 2024.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
yes.
I'm
But
ready,
the
brother.
one that I'm sorry. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Drop it in the
Erica.
chat, Dr. G. Send it to him direct via the chat.
Oh my goodness, you're asking me
Oh.
to do something that I'm not too familiar with doing.
Okay, go ahead then, Dr. G.
You see, Jack,
Okay,
LG, look at
Erica,
the chat at the bottom of your screen. You'll see where it says chat.
what I see is participate. Oh, I see chat. Okay.
Yeah,
I can-
right
Yes,
there.
Click
and
on
then
that.
find his name and send, or you could just drop it in the general
Yeah,
chat.
I'm gonna just drop it in there for everybody because
Yes.
the other thing I'm gonna put in the chat is the opportunity to participate and get a copy of the Black Wall Street Global Anthem that yours truly has did the composing of that and going from there. And then look like we have a young man on the line named Kenyatta, right? And Kenyatta designed a Black Wall Street drum. And I'd like for him, if he's on the line, if he could say a little bit more about that.
Black Wall Street drum.
Yeah. See, because rhythm is healing. And he was doing one specifically for Black Wall Street.
FD, what does that G stand for? I thought you were Dr. D. Dr. G?
My last name is Guyton,
That is sure
Guyton.
is. Excuse me for even asking. I know that. Excuse me.
Yeah, so it's easier for people to remember that part of the G. But you can also say the G stands for great, you know, good looking.
But let's continue with this meeting, please.
Okay, I'm just
Okay.
making sure. I'm just making sure.
What was your question, Marilyn, that you had?
Okay, I think she answered it concerning the grant proposals.
Oh, okay.
I saw
Okay.
somewhere they were supposed to be in by October the 1st, but she said that was for this fiscal year, but they're ongoing.
Yes, they're ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. G, did you
I'm actually typing stuff in the chat
okay.
that I'll leave information in that. But if you all have an opportunity, connect with me so I can send you the link for the Black Wall Street Global Anthem and then it's a way that you can use that global anthem to introduce Black Wall Street to those that you know, like, and trust.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've dropped Dr. Guyton's number in the chat box for those who want to grab it, because I'm gonna have to get off here. I have another meeting scheduled. And
I just put it in the chat. And so, oh, you're
Okay.
faster than I am.
All right.
Yeah, because you were supposed to be putting Thero's number in there. What happened to
Well,
it?
let Theo, the hero, put his number in there.
Thero the hero.
We used to call him the hero.
No, that's right. The hero. I hear it. I see it too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is he still on the line? Oh,
Yeah, he
there
just
it-
put it in
He
there.
dropped it.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
The elders who taught me a lot of the medicine of the nature gave me the name. My actual name is Theophilus, but they gave me Tahiro, and I changed my name to that culture name.
Love it. Love it.
Excellent. Now, our supervisors from in your area, man, so you guys got to connect.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, I'm from DeSoto.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right down the street from me. You're right around the
Yes.
corner. Right
Yeah.
around the corner.
All righty, y'all.
So Theo, we're gonna set something up to where we could do a mad dash in Dallas, okay?
Definitely. I wanted to still do the Holistic and Wellness Council seminar that where we can go in, because I was looking into all the libraries now. They're giving free access to all the nonprofits. So it's a great opportunity to have a facility to do things in now.
You know, we had that opportunity with the Pan African store,
Still do.
okay, cause you know, she would let us come in there and just do a bunch of stuff. So we'll reconnect with her as well.
Definitely.
All right, I'm muting.
I don't know where Dr. Little went. She must have dropped off. So we'll go ahead and in the Zoom. Thank you guys so much for your Saturday. You have a great Saturday, and we'll see y'all next week.
Amen. God bless everyone.
God bless everyone. Great day.
Peace, love, and light.
God bless. Thanks everyone for being here.
Have a good weekend.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.